So good afternoon. Here we are, June 11, 2025, 5:30 in Town Hall Room 206 for the Blight Review Board regular meeting. Let me ask first if I can have a motion to approve the minutes that I provided earlier this week. Thank you, Mr. Burke.
Second.
It's tough competition here. I'm going with Mr. Cameron for this one. Thank you. Any comments, questions, edits, errors? Okay, in favor? Everybody's in favor. That's unanimous. Thank you. All right. Next item would be an executive session, but I'm not aware of any need to do that. We have no property owners or representatives here, so we shall move on, which means we can go right to Mr. Ferentz and ask him to take us through the list.
All right. First one is 16001, and there are no changes here. Other than the greenery is blooming.
Yeah. I can make the general statement that the three properties have now, the owners of the three properties have now been served with process for foreclosure proceedings.
And we've never heard back from her.
No.
It just seems so odd.
Very unfortunate, very unfortunate. It's only costing them more money. Anyway, okay, no change, moving on.
17001. There's no change in this property either. Again, except for the greenery. Well, actually, he did apparently acquire or borrow a lawnmower, which is under the tarp, which is now in the front yard. And somebody did cut some of the front lawn last month, so maybe we're going to make a little progress on that. I don't know.
Yeah, still looks like light conditions from debris and overgrowth, and obviously the scaffolding and construction equipment.
And that's unregistered.
Unregistered vehicle.
I'm not sure about that vehicle that you can't see.
Yeah. All right, so fines are accruing.
And they are.
We have been sensitive to this one because the property owner does still reside there, so until some further date, we'll leave it alone, right?
Yeah. 17019.
Yep.
Other than a dumpster having been delivered to the property, I don't see any changes other than the greenery.
Yeah. Yeah, up close I know that there's still debris around the driveway and overgrowth, but I take it as encouraging that there is that dumpster there, and the town didn't provide it, so
No.
some money must be.
Two dumpsters there?
No, that's
Yeah,
just the
that's
back
it.
door.
Oh, the back door is open on it, okay.
So
All right, fines are accruing.
their fines are started on the 6/11, so it's $2,400 to date. And then, of course, there were fines of $17,800, which we have not yet filed a lien against. And that was because the town attorney was looking into title ownership or something.
Oh, okay,
I have to get back to him and see if he's made any progress.
but we have approved the notion of a lien.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, you did. I think it was 3 months ago.
all right, so we have two separate entries on your blighted properties form here.
Yes, because.
Oh, because they had stopped at May 9 of '23, and then they resumed last month.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay, good.
All right, 18004.
Yeah.
And no changes at this, well, he's actually doing something up on the roof. I'm not sure what it is, but I mean, he's doing something with the chimney apparently. It looks shorter, it's got a garbage can on top of it now. But other than that, I don't see any changes in the property.
Yeah, still plenty of debris, vehicles, et cetera.
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunate. This is one where process has been served for foreclosure.
Yes.
Okay, so it goes. Fines are accruing.
All right, 21001. And no changes here, except someone is cutting the front lawn. I suspect it's probably one of the neighbors, because they're just tired of looking at it.
Yeah.
But other than that, everything's the same. The backyard is a mess, as you know, with
Yeah.
grass and weeds.
Yeah. Not our worst case, but
No.
still, it's not, I
And
wouldn't want to be in
that
the
one's being
neighborhood.
foreclosed on also.
Yes, indeed, okay.
And 23001 is
Oh, yes.
this property here.
So we got overgrowth in the front.
Right, and it's also, this which he cut the, I guess, the base of these vines, but as you can see right here, they're starting to grow back.
Hmm,
So he really hasn't addressed that
right.
properly. And that's getting all grown up again. Although last month he had cut it.
And that is from the street?
Yeah, they're all from Monday and they're all from the street.
Okay.
Um,
Public view as.
Oh, I'm
the
sorry, I went the wrong way.
ordinance says. Okay.
Still missing the shingles on the roof up there
Hmm.
on the house.
That's on the house, not the garage.
Correct.
Okay,
If it was the garage, it'd be a big hole.
right.
And this was his attempt to correct the situation
Or cover
with the
that.
garage. If I zoom in, you can see the plywood that he put up. You can see that rafter that I think fell out of the roof is still back there.
Fell out of the roof. How does that happen?
Well, it supports the roof, and I can't see it from the street, but it looks to me like it just slid down onto the ground. And if you look at, and we can't do it at this time of year because of the leaves on the trees, but if you look at it from the Middlesex property, the roof actually has a bow in it.
Oh, I see. For lack of that support.
I believe so.
I see, okay.
But this is how much he wanted us to not be able to see. He's got this car right up against the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Well, we know the car's not going anywhere.
this car that he drives occasionally has a flat tire and is unregistered.
Unregistered. You were able to check that out?
Yes, I was able to do that. And the tarp, it's difficult to see, but the tarp is still covering the holes in the roof. So he really hasn't addressed
No, it's
the
unfortunate.
situation other than to try to hide it.
Yeah.
And
What's the
Where's
branch?
that from?
well, this is from the sidewalk with about a 6-foot extension that I have, and that's why it's looking down. And from actually the sidewalk in front of the neighbor's house. And if we zoom in, you can see the piece of fence that he leaned up against the garage, the plywood that he nailed onto the garage, the rafter, which again is, I believe, is falling out of the building, or has fallen out of the building. And apparently he got a tree branch to try and hide it also, but the tree branches, the leaves are dying now, so.
Yeah.
So that's more debris, right?
Yes.
Unfortunate, no doubt about it, but it is what it is, so.
And this was having a bank foreclosure as
Yes.
well. right?
Yes.
Yeah, there's some.
Previously, yeah.
Long story behind it. I think one is still pending. Is it?
So where does
Believe
that
so.
leave everything?
We are,
We have to wait in line, I think, behind,
as a municipality, we may get some priority, but I'm
Oh.
not sure about that.
okay.
I'm not sure. Anyway, it is what it is, and we have not moved forward with any foreclosure or recommendation in that regard at this point. In fact, funds just began accruing on May 18. I believe.
Yes, yes.
Right.
So, we are where we are. There, some objection to our citation was filed, and a hearing officer has been engaged, but that is all separate and apart from our proceedings. Okay.
And then we have 23004, which we can take off the
Oh,
list
good news.
because it's gone.
Yes,
Good news, yeah.
I noticed that today.
Okay, I'm happy for the new owner
Yes.
and for the neighbors.
And I had one more that I was going to put on here. because I haven't gotten a response from the homeowners. And I learned at the end of last week that the homeowners have been in Florida, and I guess they're not forwarding their mail. So I'm going to assume that they just were notified. So I took it off the list.
Okay. Okay.
So that's it.
Is that a new property?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically a minor problem, but one that needs to be addressed.
Right.
And hopefully the homeowners will decide to take care of the problem.
Yeah.
Just as a point of information, Mr. Chairman, for the benefit of our thousands of viewers,
Yes, indeed.
if someone lives in Darien and they see a property that they think is blight, what should they be looking for? What's the definition of blight? And then how do they file a complaint? And can they do that anonymously?
Well, of course, there is a legal answer to the definition of blight, which goes on several items, and I would refer anybody to the ordinance itself. But I would say to anybody who thinks that there is something both unattractive and perhaps unsafe about a property, they should use the Q alert button on the town website, I think it is, right?
It's see, click, fix now. They changed
Oh.
from Q alert.
Oh, they didn't tell me, okay. CQ,
Yeah, SEE.
Click, fix,
Click,
three
fix.
words.
oh, I see, yeah, okay, good, all right.
Too smart.
Well, anyway,
And
they
it
should
can
use
be
that.
done anonymously.
It can be done, good. Just among the items of blight are unregistered vehicles that are parked in a driveway and not being used, or should not be used, anyway. Debris, holes in roofs, overgrowth. I mean, there is a long list, but, you know, if you feel like somebody should be doing something better with their home, you can make that claim through the CQ alert. Did I get
See,
that?
click.
See,
See,
click,
click.
fix.
Click, fix.
See, click, fix, oh my God. And Mr. Ferentz will respond.
And I get several phone calls a week
Do you?
at this time of year.
Do you?
Wow.
Good.
Okay.
But you have to get something through that formal application or complaint process. You can't just take a phone complaint.
I will take a phone complaint and go out and look,
Okay.
and then, you know, go from there, depending upon what I see.
Okay.
Good.
And if I may ask another question, given that we
We
don't
have some time.
a lot of business
Not that
tonight.
we want to spend, but.
So we have 3 properties that are now in the process of foreclosure. What's involved with that, and why is it taking so long?
Well, I can speak to that a little bit, not in this case particularly, but the initiation of a foreclosure proceeding is just like any other action. So you file your complaint, complaint has to be served. The defendants have, I think it's 60 days, depending on the method of service, to reply or answer, you know, the lawsuit, and then a scheduling conference will be worked out. So it's a rather long process. When I was involved in some of these types of actions in New York, it could take easily years. So we are talking about engaging in a process whereby town council will brief the Board of Selectmen as to status during executive session. I know the board is interested in keeping an eye on these procedures because the town has not engaged in them previously, and so we want to make sure that it's done correctly, which our council is completely capable of doing, obviously, but you know, a bit of a monitoring learning curve for us as a town as we go through these first ones, and hopefully there won't be any after these 3.
All right. I can say that summary judgment is available in these actions in the right case, which can shortcut the process some.
And the summary judgment means?
Well, it means there's really no material fact in dispute. You know, and that really is it, and you can go directly to judgment. And
juries decide facts, judges decide law. So you're saying to the judge, there are no disputes about this, these facts. You can just apply the law, and then that can happen more rapidly than the traditional process. That said, the defendants in these types of actions have a world of tools that they can use to slow those proceedings and appeal those proceedings, et cetera. But in some of these instances where we've never heard from any of the owner or owner entities, perhaps we'll be able to move a little bit more rapidly through the process.
And let's assume we get a summary judgment, which means we win the case. Does that mean that the town then owns the property?
Oh, yes, I mean, when the final details are completed, yes, we will own it and have the right to sell it.
And then if the town chooses to sell it, and there are people still living in it, like in the case of some of these properties.
No, none that we've begun.
But what typically happens in those types of cases is that you become the owner, so then you get to be the plaintiff in a landlord-tenant procedure, which can then, that's a whole nother action that you're bringing. It's like, all right, now this is my property, you're a trespasser, you have to leave. That's another legal process that can take a period of time.
But
I should say, actually, the most likely process would involve a foreclosure by sale, rather than strict foreclosure, in which case we would get the title. But when there's going to be a lot of equity, and all of these properties, just the dirt is worth a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure a judge will order foreclosure by sale and an auction, and the property owners will get the excess funds after paying any of the liens on the property, including us. And I did want to make a point that the defendants will also be subject to a claim for legal fees for the town.
Correct. But isn't 18004 occupied? The one with the repairs to the roof?
Oh, it is. You're exactly right. Yes. Yep.
Maybe he's
I
not
forgot that.
there all the time, but
Yeah.
does seem to be living in there.
I forgot
That's
that.
the only one, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the goal of all this is not to have the town acquire properties, it's more to deal with the blight and get it resolved.
Exactly. No
Right.
question.
Okay.
I think the reason that one occupied property, it is, I think the first we even applied any lien to, any fines, and those fines are now over $200,000, so
Right.
we just couldn't let that go on any longer.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate
Good.
the background.
Okay. No local matters for me then, huh? Or what's the name of your inside town hall?
Inside Town Hall, well,
Okay. Oh, darn.
no, we'll get you back on the program
Yeah,
another
that's
time.
I'll be looking for that episode.
Right.
He's been a previous
Okay,
guest.
I have.
Scintillating,
Yes.
scintillating.
All right, okay, anything else, Mr. Ferentz?
No, that's it.
Good, nothing wrong with that, we can do this in 20 minutes and be done. So anybody want to make a, Mr. Burke, of course he does. Ms. Oakley, good, I'm sorry, I didn't even look this way.
It's okay.
I have moved to adjourn and we are adjourned, thank you.
Thank you very much.